Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Let's Play, or not Let's Play, the walkthrough of Eden Eternal. Now, as you might have noticed, I'm in a different area, and I'm using a webcam because I'm recording this with XSplit. Still just kind of experimenting with how to record this and what format to do it in and all that. Also, when I tried to log in as the character that I was using last time, I forgot the password, and it's for some reason I didn't use whatever password I usually use for it, so I can't really get to that character anymore. So I started a new one, and I named it Walkthrough just because I'm going to be using it for the walkthrough. So that's why, you know, I might be different stats or whatever. So Thieves at level 12, Warriors at level 12, both of them have their class points all the way up to 100%, and then now I'm just waiting for myself to level up to level 13 so that I can continue. So this is the new area, Tranquil Hill, I should talk about. Look at the map. Here in the top right corner of the map says to Limestone Mountain, which is where I came from. So I finished all the quests there, and yeah. Then I just accepted all the quests that I could here. So that's the Curia Library with the Entally, the Starshell Hermit Crab that I need to defeat for that quest. Then just go through and special quest, I just accepted it so it's not there in the corner, but then look, another thing that I want to ignore. Alright, so for these quests, they're basically just kill these certain enemies, and also I have a rabbit as a pet instead of a bird. No real reason, just felt like getting a rabbit instead, which may or may not actually be a good thing. Alright, so as you can see, they're dropping a lot of items, because there's 3 different items from the one type of enemy that you're supposed to pick up for the quest. And I'm just going to fight another one just to be sure that I don't need anything else. No, alright. So this one's a big one, the Kaba Kaba. It's one of those rare monsters. Okay, I didn't. Oh, yes I did. I thought I didn't attack that one. Alright. Drops a bunch of stuff. Look through. Is any better? No. No. Okay. And like I've said before, personal preference, just put it in the bottom left corner so that you know it's not any better, and you can just sell it whenever you get to a shop. Alright, and then the next thing is to get these Angeles, and they're kind of, you know, up down here by the shore. And let's see. Now, if I remember correctly, there's a rare monster of one of these, like a Noctiluca Angeli, I guess you would say. So there's a rare one somewhere around here, but I can never tell the difference between the different Angeles. Like, I'm guessing it's just bigger or something, but it's somewhere on that beach. But you don't really need to go all the way down there to finish your quests. You only have to kill like 6 or 7, and you should be fine. And then, of course, just to be sure, not that one, just take a look at your quests, just to be sure. It's always nice to double check before you start running back to turn in the quests. And alright, just click go. And then it's nice that as you're running over there, you can go over here and look at the grimoire to make sure that yes, you do have those quests. And then always remember to accept the next quest after you've finished one. Alright, so this is the person that you have to talk to actually get these quests. Which I probably should have shown on camera, but eh. Alright, so after that one, I'll just go back over here to talk to this guy to turn in those quests. And then he'll give you the next quest to accept. And also, let's see, go to unacquired quests, and actually that's not it. Where am I going? Okay, I just have to talk to this guy. I thought it was more than that. Alright, so there's magic crit rate and the regular crit rate, which is how often you get a critical attack with your physical moves or your magic moves. And now, yes, okay. So now my mission is to defeat these eagles. But first, there's 2 other missions that I have to accept because they go in the same area. Alright, so I just click go, and you'll be on your way And the merchant that gives you the Grimoire quests is down there in that plaza. So, yeah. Alright, let's see. That's no better. That's no better. And I'm not sure if I really talked about it, but I like to put the broken demon pots between the blessed crystal and the items that I'm selling. And also, another thing I should mention, occasionally the quest items, like the stuff that drops from the monsters that you're supposed to kill and you need to get it for a quest and all that, occasionally you'll end up with more than you actually need, so you can't sell them, so you just kind of have to delete them by bringing them out there. And then crit rate, just gonna put it on the axe. And, alright, wait, this one? No, that's not better. Alright, so now, just gotta defeat a bunch of eagles, the axe beak, and the Tyrian, I think they're called, or Tyrian, or however you want to pronounce it. Right. And one thing that I kind of want to do a review of this game after I'm done doing the walkthrough, and also you have to destroy the eggs for their own quest, and then also when you destroy the eggs, sometimes it'll bring out these crone eagles that will basically avenge their egg that you just destroyed. And there's actually a quest that I've already accepted to get one of the feathers that drops off of them. So there's one quest to destroy 3 eggs, and then there's one quest to get an item that drops from the eagle that comes after you destroy the egg. So it's slightly complicated. You might end up getting the feather after you've defeated 1 egg, and then just have to defeat 2 more eggs. And you might not get the feather after defeating 3 eggs and have to destroy more eggs to get the feather. So it's kind of complicated sometimes, but you should be able to do it without too much trouble. Oops. Alright, so okay, the Midnight Feather. That has to do with this thing, the Mimic Whistle. It says you can use this shrill, high-pitched whistle in the forest of Tranquil Hill, and then gives you the coordinates, to call Furious Bird Midnight Feather. Alright, so oops, you can either look at it, it says 325, 495, and then, actually, okay, I have my webcam right over the map, so on the map it gives you the coordinates, and you can either look at those coordinates to actually figure out where you need to be close enough to use it, but actually, where was it? 325, 495, so then here on this map, down at the bottom right corner, it gives you the X and Y coordinates of where your mouse is. So then you just look at that, and then move to about 325, move it up a little bit, 493, which isn't exactly right, but if you just get pretty close, and you just click on the map and it'll take you there. You don't have to be exactly on the right coordinate, but just pretty close, and then right-click and you get to summon a monster. That's a pretty common quest mechanic, where they'll give you an item and then say, go to this specific coordinate and then use the item to summon a monster. So that's always something to pay attention to. And also, like I was saying earlier, I defeated 3 of the crone, or defeated 3 eggs and 2 crone eagles, I guess. But apparently I didn't get a feather from it. So I've just got to defeat a few more eggs, and apparently a couple more, because they're not dropping the feathers. Let's see. Oh, look, there's an egg right there. Nope. This is strange. Usually I finish that quest much quicker. Right. Maybe this one? Nope. Alright, so occasionally, I guess, there will be trouble, and I am supposing that the game is giving me trouble because I said that you shouldn't have any trouble. Alright, and there we go. Hopefully this one will actually drop the feather. Yes, it does. Alright. Now, what's the other quest? Just defeat these eagles, that's fine. And always remember to check the Grimoire. And alright. So now you're done with that little set of quests. And I would recommend that you... not that... Okay, I would... Come on. I recommend that you do try to accept as many quests as you can, just to be able to get them all done quickly, because then they have all these overlapping moments where all the quests need to be done in the same area, so you can just get them done at the same time and all that. However, something I will mention now is that I've played up to about level 30, like 6 or 7 different times, well not 7, maybe 5 times, just because I'll play as a character and I'll get up to about level 30, and then I'll realize, okay, I wasn't doing a very good job of using my class points, or I wasn't playing as the right class, or I wanted to be a different race or something, so that it would make me want to start over, and then I'll just redo it and get up to about level 30 and then do the same thing. And in that, I realized that after doing just about every quest as many quests as I could, that's what I'm trying to say, and then even the Grimoire quests and everything, by the time I got to about level 30, I would be entering an area where I was a high enough level to go to the next area, but then I would just have to still sit through all the... Alright, hold on, let me just double check this. Okay, so you're not going over that way. Now you're going to the other side of the map for these quests, because I should actually talk about these quests. The Bay Angeli is just another monster over on the sea, or over on the beach. And then the Red Rock Hermit Crab, again, just enemy over there. Now in this mission, it says to go to these specific coordinates. Now again, you can just look at the map, which is in my webcam, or you can press the Go button, and it'll take you to these coordinates. And then just press the other Go button, and it'll take you to the other side. Which, like I've said before, is very useful. I really enjoy that feature. But as I was saying earlier, by the time you get to level 30, if you're doing every quest, then you're going to be a lot higher level than you need to be. And for me, because I'm such like a completionist, and I'm not actually OCD, but I tend to feel like I'm OCD or whatever, just wanting to complete every quest, and I don't want to leave missions unfinished and everything. I want to get through everything that this game has to offer. But then you level up so much that you don't get very many class points when you're playing, because like if the enemies are, say, there's something I did find out when I was training, was that if the enemies are 6 levels below you, like if I'm level 12 and my enemy is level 6, then you'll get like about 1 or maybe 1.5% of your class points every time you kill that enemy, and you won't get any experience points. So, and that's a good way if you're trying to train multiple classes up to a high level. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on where you're training, per level, pretty much. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower. So that's just something that I kind of recommend if you're trying to train like all of your classes up to whatever level you are. Then try to find an area where you're not getting very many experience points, but you're still getting a lot of class points, so that you're not worrying about constantly leveling up and needing to level up your classes more, but you can still level up your classes, I guess. I'm not sure if that made sense, but of course right now the mission is just to beat a bunch of Bay Angeli, so just going around fighting those. What else was I saying? So the problem that I have with that is that by the time you get to level 30, like I said, you're going to have a lot of experience, and you're going to be a higher level than your classes. It's going to be kind of hard. You're going to need to stop and grind to just constantly keep training and fighting a bunch of monsters just to get your class up. Because your class experience, even down here it says, I'm not sure if you can read it, it says CP can be acquired through recommended events, arenas, or by battling monsters. Basically, the one that I usually do is just by battling monsters. But let's just take a look, make sure that everything's alright. Okay, so another thing to remember here is that you have to destroy these little piles of sand to get some of the items. So just, keep that in mind when you're trying to get stuff. But, as I was saying, as far as leveling, defeating monsters is usually the best way to get class points. And again, I can't see behind the map. I really should move my webcam. Let me know in the comments if you want it like top left corner, top right, bottom left, bottom right, or whatever. Or if you just don't want the webcam, that's fine too. But on the map, it gives you this event list that you can click. It's the red button, like bottom right of the map, I guess. And then if you click on recommended, close that for now, recommended event, here to the center of attention. I'm actually surprised that it's that one. Maybe just because I started playing this before I got to level 10. Never mind. Not sure why it only shows this one, but usually there's a recommended event for killing about 100 or 300 monsters within 3 levels of your level. That's usually like a daily recommended quest that you can do. No? Okay. So you can do that to get class points, because obviously killing the monsters gives you class points, and then the actual quest gives you class points. And then another recommended quest that usually appears is to do a dungeon for whatever level or whatever zone that you're usually in, or whatever zone that you are the right level for, is usually what the recommended event will tell you to do. Now, let's see, where am I going? Alright, so what am I saying? Just do the recommended events for class points, and then do battling monsters, and then the actual quests are usually the best for giving you experience points, because like I said, when you're doing every single quest, that's usually what gives you so many class points. I mean, not class points, experience points. Also here, I don't think I talked about it in the last video, the fame chest. It's usually near the mayor of every town. It sells you a couple items, usually rings and trophies. And here you can see that current equipment, I have the departure crystal. I don't think I mentioned it in the last video, but off camera when I was leveling up to this point, I got the departure crystal, which is in the fame chest of the limestone mountains. So you can get that there, and you can see the stats here, or if you can't read it, it says max HP plus 26, attacking or casting skills has a 5% chance to increase all stats plus 8, last 10 seconds. I'm not really sure exactly how effective it is, or how helpful it is or anything, but it's always nice to have that as a little bit of extra. It's not worth anything. Alright, now again, quest, the Angeli slime, I don't know why I always get so many. And then get rid of the dye, I don't want to do that. Solid shell, also something. Now, something that I made the mistake of earlier was I accidentally got rid of the quest item that I actually still needed. That I actually still needed before I turned in the quest. Then I had to redo that little quest because I had to fight the monsters again. So always be aware that you have to turn in your quest before you start getting rid of your excess quest items. So I'm almost done with, I was going to say I'm almost done with the episode, but you can already just tell on how long the episode is. I'm not going to go through the entire zone in this episode. I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter. Now here, alright, so here, this mission is to defeat the Wojtek, which is just the big red crab that you might have seen earlier. He's not actually a rare monster, necessarily, like this way that the big blue crab was, because he doesn't have any breakpoints or anything. But he is part of a quest, so I guess he's rare. Right. I don't remember if I talked about these last time, but I'll talk about them some other time. If you have any comments about it, well, if you have any questions about it, leave my comments. Now I was playing through this area, or this zone, some of the time, I think it was yesterday, and I was trying to find like the best, most efficient way to get through this zone by doing all the quests, and I can't remember if I did this first and then turned in the other quests, or if I did the Wojtek monster quest, turned that in, and then came back for these birds. So I don't remember. Use your own discretion, I guess, if you want to go turn in that other quest and then come back here, or if you want to do this first and then go turn them in. Alright. And I do remember that the other quest, fighting the boars, that one I did want to do after turning in, let's see, after turning in the Wojtek. Oops. So let's, yeah. Because that one you're going to have to turn it into form and knot. But these two, you both turn into Mayor Spence, so you don't really need to, you can just do them both and then turn them in at the same time. Let's see, uncooked mutton, that's what you use for the other quest. Alright, so, once I turn in this quest, as you might have noticed, well actually that's not the one I wanted to talk about. Alright, here, it says Seabell 5, or V, you know, Roman numerals. if you might have been reading or whatever, there's main quests that I never really paid much attention to, but there's main quests where it'll say like Seabell 1, and then you finish that one, Seabell 2, finish that one, Seabell 3, and so on. Those are the specific line that you can usually get a title for. In the general titles, here it says Gift of the Crystal can be claimed after completing the Limestone Mountains Crystal Clues mission, and then the Anger Quarry missions. Okay, so there's no actual title for the Seabell missions, but the next one that I'm going to get is the Eagle Bandit Gang missions. So, first, come on, there's that. Alright, also here, now you actually have to start selecting your quest rewards as far as armor, because normally, or not normally, in the beginning, it would give you the heavy, light, and cloth armor. Because it's the very beginning tutorial, you don't really know which class you want to use, so it's just giving you all the armor so you can choose between them. But now that it's the next area, you're supposed to know, like, okay, I want to be this type of class, or these two classes that I'm going to switch between. So now, it gives you the heavy cloth and leather armor, or light armor, I keep thinking leather from Warcraft. Anyways, so you can do that, just to choose which one you want, and now, go here to, and don't even need to sell anything, but, now, okay, well, actually no, here, the Eagle Gang, part 1, pretty much. So here to get that quest, so that's gonna be it for this episode. I just wanted to show that first Seabell quest. That's how I'm thinking of splitting this up just by each quest line. So there wasn't really anything special about finishing the Seabell quest, except that now you're able to do the Eagle Gang quest. You just have to go to those coordinates and then talk to a guy. And then in the next episode I'll also be doing the Ironhide Boar thing. Alright, and also, let's see. Yeah, always remember to keep track of these, to keep track of those quests, because also, now that you're done with that Grimoire quest, now you get the book title. And like I'm pretty sure I did say this in the last video, all the book titles, all the quests that you get and everything, they always give you more MP. Not really sure why, but you know, it's always nice if you're a mage or a cleric or something that uses a lot of MP to use those titles to get a lot more MP. But then of course you can always use the other ones for intelligence and wisdom, which are also good for mages. Depending on if you're a mage, intelligence is better. If you're a cleric, wisdom is better. I'll explain that some other episode. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.